Caroline Grimaldi was heir to the crown of Monaco until her brother Albert was born 14 months after her birth. As a teenager, the eldest daughter of Ranier and Grace left the principality for Paris to study philosophy. There she began to earn a certain reputation. This was due in no small part to her fondness for parties and her relationship with Philippe Junot, a businessman whom she married in 1978 against her parents' wishes. But the love between them faded when a photograph was published showing the Frenchman holding the hand of actress Yanina Facio. Their divorce was announced in 1980, and Caroline was harshly criticized by some. After that disappointment, the princess exchanged hugs with guys like tennis player Vilas, considered by some to be her great love. Then she fell in love to the bone with a young Italian businessman, Stefano Casiraghi, with whom she entered into a civil marriage and gave birth to 3 children, Andrea, Carlota, and Pedro. This wedding was much talked about, including because it was celebrated shortly after the bride's mother died in an accident. When this happened, Caroline had succeeded Grace as First Lady of the Principality, and many thought that the Monegasque princess had settled down. Misfortune crossed her path again in October 1990, when her husband was accidentally killed while participating in a boat race in Monte Carlo Bay. Sometime later, Carolina began dating German aristocrat Ernesto Augusto of Hanover, who gave her a daughter, Alexandra of Hanover, as well as several disappointments due to his bad temper, drinking problems, and constant run-ins with the law. Ernesto and she married in 1999, and 10 years later decided to separate. The breakup was amicable, and neither of them wanted to sign a divorce, according to some media outlets, because of an agreement made between Caroline and Hanover's 2 eldest sons, Ernesto Augusto and Christian, the fruit of a relationship between the German and Swiss heiress Chantal Hochuli. To preserve an important family asset, the princess seems to continue to maintain good relations with her adopted children, whom she treats like family, and gets along well with Alexandra, who in turn appreciates both the Casiraghi brothers and the Hanoverians. Less good feelings the girl has with her father, who forced her to be brought up in Protestantism, and was angry when he learned that his little soul had decided to convert to Catholicism. As might be expected, Caroline's institutional role gradually diminished. When Ranier of Monaco died in 2005, the prince's authority passed to his son Albert, who had already been acting as his father's right-hand man for some time. When Albert married Charlene in 2011, the Grimaldi sisters, with whom the former Olympic swimmer maintains a respectful but distant relationship, took a back seat. Although Caroline continued to organize the famous Rose Ball, which her mother invented to raise money for charitable projects, and did not hesitate to lend a helping hand to Albert at certain times, such as when her sister-in-law was absent from certain events due to emotional and physical exhaustion, leaving her husband alone. Now in her 67s, Caroline leads a quiet life. She has never met a new partner and feels more than comfortable in Monte Carlo, where she relishes her role as mother and grandmother. Her eldest son, the always reserved Andrea, married billionaire Tatiana Santo Domingo in 2013 after a 7-year relationship, and they already have 3 children, Sasha, India, and Max. Although the princess does not see each of them too often, since the family lives in several cities, Tatiana, who is the granddaughter of tycoon Julio Mario Santo Domingo and has a fortune of $2 billion, is considered her favorite daughter-in-law. Carlota Casiraghi also has a son with French comedian Gad Elmaleh, and later had another with movie producer Dimitri Rassam, from whom she recently divorced. Charlotte doesn't like to reveal everything that happens between her mother and her, but in an interview she confessed that their relationship is still ambivalent. You have the feeling that even when you have your own children, you are still struggling to find your own space. Finally, Pierre Casiraghi married the Italian journalist and aristocrat Beatrice Borromeo, with whom he has 2 children. Rumor has it that Carolina received Beatrice coldly first, because the woman belonged to a guild, that of journalists, that was always quite hard and critical of her, and secondly, because of some statements of the Italian that hinted at her little affection for the nobility and royalty. Just a few days ago, some media echoed the apparent estrangement between Pierre and his sister Carlota. The reason? That the so-called philosopher princess, who avoids talking about her ex or coinciding with him at all costs, could have experienced as a betrayal the fact that Pierre and his wife supported a few days ago in Cannes the new film produced by the Frenchman. Of course, in every house there is something going on, and in the Grimaldi's house, in spades. The life of Princess Caroline of Monaco reads like a novel, filled with moments of both profound joy and deep sorrow. From her early days marked by a rebellious spirit and a love for the Parisian party scene, to her multiple marriages and the tragic loss of her second husband, Stefano Casiraghi, Caroline's journey has been anything but ordinary. Despite the challenges, she has emerged as a figure of resilience, dedicating herself to her family and her duties within the Principality of Monaco. Caroline's relationships with her children and their choices reflect the complexity of familial bonds and the challenges of navigating personal and public life in the spotlight. Her role as a mother and grandmother, coupled with her commitment to charitable work, showcases a woman who has found strength in her responsibilities and her love for her family. The dynamics within the Grimaldi family, including the reported tensions and the pressures of living under public scrutiny, highlight the universal challenges that all families face, albeit on a much grander and more public scale. Caroline's ability to maintain relationships and her dedication to her family's well-being, despite these challenges, speaks volumes about her character. As she steps back from the forefront of Monaco's royal duties, allowing her brother Albert and his wife Charlene to take the lead, Caroline's legacy within the Principality remains significant. Her life story, marked by both its highs and lows, serves as a testament to her resilience and her enduring commitment to her family and her duties. In conclusion, Princess Caroline of Monaco's life story is a compelling narrative of resilience, love, and duty. Through the many challenges and changes she has faced, Caroline has remained a steadfast presence in the lives of her family and the people of Monaco. Her journey underscores the complexities of life in the royal spotlight and the enduring power of family bonds.